Hello everyone, welcome to Tarot Chat with Jay. So nice to see you all. I am responding to the hashtag 7 decks for deadly sins. It's been so much fun seeing that on the Tarot Tube, and I'd like to begin with number 1, Pride. This is the deck for me, takes pride of place. In fact, it takes such a pride of place, it's over here on an altar rather than with my regular decks in the collection. It is the Grand Tarot Bellini. I have the book, I have the box, I have the decks themselves, the cards themselves. Here we have the backing. These also take pride for me. They came in my inheritance from my dad, Richard Fisher, Aubin, and I'm so pleased to have them. I don't work with them all the time. I don't particularly study Marseille, but they're also, the images are spectacular. So pride of place, just so pleased that they came to me, and that I'm able to care for this deck as well. Number 2, Greed. I had to have it in my collection, must have it. It was Tarot of Mystical Moments, and in fact this deck was so particularly hard for me to get in 2020 that I actually started with the Oracle of Mystic Moments, which I was able to get my hands on. And in fact, I'm one of maybe the rare people who do like these decks together, but having the Oracle of Mystic Moments allowed me to study the iconography, the symbology that the artist used in the decks, so that when I actually got my hands on the tarot cards, I could say, oh, flowers, houses, balloons, anchors, ships, keys. This is a crossover image, the butterfly flower, so that when these decks came to me, I was really able to see what was going on in this deck as well. All right. We're moving on to number 3, Wrath. I am fighting with the deck. Thank you very much for asking. It was a polite question. The deck that I fight with is Antelli Castanella's Art Nouveau. I bought this thinking, oh, look, Art Nouveau. What a lovely deck. I'll get it for spring. It'll be a beautiful read. Then I saw the Toxic Masculinity in the Kings. In fact, it's so bad they've been banished with blue thread. These are the Kings. They have women with them. Captive women. Not the queens. So that just didn't work for me. Also, here's one of my key cards, Strength, really meaningful card for me. This is their depiction of strength. It's Hercules about to bash the centurion who taught him everything. Meh. So those got banished. That was issue 1. Issue 2, well, the cards are gorgeous and some of them absolutely depict what's going on and tell us the artist seems to have an underlying lesbian date theme, which I have absolute please. I'm totally pro lesbian date, but if that was the deck I was looking for, that would be the deck I would buy. This Ten of Wands, it's just a pretty girl posing. That has nothing to do with Ten of Wands. That's not someone down and out and at the bottom. This Eight of Pentacles, that's just a really pretty girl posing. It has nothing to do with, you know, the Eight of Pentacles, which is tending your fields, feeling fulfillment, getting ready. She's not tending nothing. She's especially not her top. While some of the cards, Justice and some of the male cards even are beautifully depicted. And this death card might be my favorite death card ever. Absolutely. It's why I had such a struggle with this deck, and I'm fighting with it because there's so much I love about it and so much I hideously detest. In fact, I even went as far as getting the astrological oracle cards in the same sort of system by the same and Castella to try to soften the masculine, and that helped a lot. But yeah, it's a work in progress. It's a wrathful work in progress. Let's move on to number 4, envy. I wanted it because I saw that others had it. Boy, seed and sickle. I saw it. I fell in love with it. The cards, the backing, the texture, the Dawn and Dusk guidebooks, 2 books. Thank you. You had me at 2 books. And then I couldn't get it. And that was the envy part. It got caught up in the shipping, the containers, the processing. It got caught up in that long wait we had this year, 2021. Long wait we had in 2021. And while I was waiting, the tarot tubers, they got it. They got their preview decks. They got their decks in a tin. They got their decks with their extra ones on the side. And I was just, it was envy, but not entirely. I knew I would get it. It's good for me to wait sometimes. I'm a little bit impatient. And strangely, I started flipping pairing decks with it. I would watch the walkthroughs on my lap through and throw This Might Hurt onto my keyboard along with the decks. So that was kind of fun. Taught me a little bit more about pairing, which is always good. All right, number 5, lust. I love the aesthetic. I love the cards. I love everything, how they feel, how they look. So, I know a lot of people complain about this deck, that it's small, but I say, go on, get on in there, take off your glasses, look at these cards one at a time. I think you need to look at the details, look at them far away, but go nose to nose with these decks. This is, I'm blessed with terrible vision, so I was taught early on to shed your glasses and look at life in a different way. A little bit of the Hanged One philosophy, but here I can see the fish, I can see the cup, I can see the fairies, I can see the modulation of the color behind it, and the Celtic knots that are drawn on the cross, and the reflections that are in the ripples and the river and the tabletop, and it just invites you to walk into this liminal space. I like it for path working. I like it for meditation. I think it's glossy and beautiful. I love the backs. I love that you get so close you can fall in love with these cards, and they're beautiful. Everything is beautiful. The beings, the clothes, the motion, the pattern, the colorway, the architecture, the symbolism. Yeah. Little lusty over Shadowscape. Next, number 6, we're moving on to gluttony. I bought it when I didn't need it. So, actually, I have 2 decks to talk about in this one. There's the Rackham Tarot, Arthur Rackham Tarot. And what I did is I also bought the Arthur Rackham Oracle along with it at the same time, because I did not want to choose between the 2 decks. And I didn't. And what happened was the Oracle and the Tarot had crossover images with divergent meanings, which means I couldn't learn either system. And it's not easy. I mean, this is artwork that was curated from Arthur Rackham's vast collection of illustrations into a tarot deck. And it works. It's hard. It's not always apparent. I have keywords at the top from the Lisa Papez Tarot with Training Wheels series. Shout out. But yeah, I mean, all right, that one's child one, that one's a parent, but here's the Seven of Cups indecision. It's a fairy walking with her entourage along a riverside in a liminal space. You got to kind of study that one a little bit to get it. And when she was coming up in the Oracle deck as representing joyful gatherings with your friends, that was divergent meaning and it was confusing me. So it was gluttonous of me to not choose originally, and the Oracle deck I've already given away to a different witch. So I learned my little lesson with that sin, and I'm very happy to have ended up with the Arthur Rackham Tarot. Thank you. Lastly, number 8, Sloth. The deck when you reach for an easy reader. My friends, this deck is so easy, it's in my handbag. I don't even have to go through my collection and find it. Here it is. What could it be? It is the Everyday Witch Mini, bashed, battered in its little box. It is, thank you, an instant reader for me. Here we are, 8 of Wands. You can tell what this is. Things are flying. Things are out of control. Here we are, Page of Cups. This is someone with a message of art, and they have a path behind them, and they have something to show you. It could be awesome. What could it be? Here we have the Ace of Cups, this queen. She is full with her cauldron. She is standing in her power. She is the epitome. There are water droplets and Aquarius symbols in the hem of her dress. It's just an instant read. It's there all the time for me. It has been since moment one. And this is, of this entire collection we've looked at, friends, this is the only one that I do not have a book, a pamphlet, something, or possibly 2 books, anything to refer to. This one, it's just out of the box and reading. So there we have our 7 decks for Deadly Sins. I got this tag from Dawn Michelle Boho Tarot. I believe it came from Sylvain Tarot beforehand, of course. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been Jay. It's been a pleasure. I will see you next time. Have a lovely witching day.